Good morning, Chevre. We are in Likutei Moharan, Zayin, Tinyana. We're on Otei. We're speaking about Makifim. Makifim is Gan Eden. We're in Otei. Otvav, my mistake. Recap. The Tzaddik has mercy. He wants to give you everything good, like Hashem wants. The Tzaddik is mimicking Hashem. Hashem wants to give only good. And the Tzaddik wants you to have that good. The worst thing could be is sin. He wants to get you out of sin. The way he gets you out of sin is he fills your mind with knowledge. He empowers you by teaching you. The Tzaddik. You're supposed to mimic the Tzaddik. Teach others. Make sure you work on your Yirat Shamayim. Because why does it work when you hear from the Tzaddik? Because he has Yirat Shamayim. And your job is search out tzaddikim. It's worth it to go to a tzaddik to sit there for a few minutes and talk. When you would go to Rabbi Chaim Kenning in his house. You don't remember those moments? It's etched in your mind, those moments. The Kedusha, the simple words. Because there's Yirat Shamayim, the Diburim go in. Look for those people. When you look for those people, you become like those people. You become Yirat Shamayim. And then your words affect others. People listen to you. You change them. Then you give them your dat. When you give them your dat, you download new dat. When you give over what's you're living, so what you're not living, what's in the next compartment, you're able to bring it down. You emptied up yours. Yesterday we gave a mashal. You emptied it. You have new merchandise. You want to get new merchandise. You got to get rid of the old merchandise. Get rid of the old merchandise. Put it on sale. Just do a bargain. People are going to come in. Now you have room. You're getting all the new merchandise. You can't bring in the new until you empty out the old. And the same with Sechel, to get a new Makif. Now the Makifim are one upon the other. There's levels and levels of knowledge of Hashem which are infinite, because Hashem is infinite. There's infinite levels of knowledge of Hashem even in the next world. In this world, it seems to be like there's a limit what you could grasp. And that's why Rabbeinu once said, I've now reached a level that in the physical body, I can't continue to grow. I need to take off my body, my garment, and to continue moving. Like you're going through a place, it's a tight squeeze, you gotta take off your jacket to get through. Rabbeinu had to take off his body to get to the next level. She said that. But there's, on our simple level, makifim ad gebe makifim. How do you do that? Remember the pasuk. Ki karov elecha davar me'od. To bring the what's me'od is wow, out of your league. To bring the me'od, ki karov elecha davar me'od, bificha u'bilvavecha nasoto. Through your mouth and through your heart. Whatever's in your heart, whatever's in your mind, speak it out. Teach it. Find a friend to talk to. Speak in Yirat Shamayim. Sichot chaverim. Like we said, use the opportunities of interactions for spreading Hashem's knowledge. What are you living? What's going on with you? What are you mitchazekin? Share with me. You have Yirat Shamayim, I want to hear. And I'm going to hear from you, I'm going to grow. And that's what we're holding. So now we're in the third ot of Vav. Ulemana min hakol. Higher than everything. Hema makifim ha'inyonim shel Chacham Hador. There is the Tzaddik Hador, the Chacham Hador. Rabbeinu many times he switches between Tzaddik and Chacham. Many times the way it is, because Tzaddik depends on the Maasim. When he's speaking about the Maasim of the Tzaddik, the Kedusha of the Tzaddik, it's the Lashon is Tzaddik. When it's his wisdom, his knowledge, it's Chacham. So the Chacham Hador, the Tzaddik Hador, the Tzaddik Emes, למעלה מהכל המקיפים העליון של חכם הדור. His Makif is the highest Makif that there is in this world. Imagine that there's levels of knowledge. So you're on level 10, he's on level 20, he's on level 100, he's on level 1,000, he's on level 10,000, he's on level 1. Then you get to the highest level possible in this world. What's above that? Everybody has a Makif. So my Makif is 101, and yours is 120, and yours is example. Now the tzaddik is on level 1 million. What's his makif? His makif, Shua Rabbi Shebador. This is Rabbi Shebador. Rabbi is in terms of guidance. Rosh Ben Israel, the leader. He's guiding Am Yisrael. Shal yedeh shezeh Rabbi והחכם שבדור עוסק לדבר עם תלמידיו ומכניס בהם דעתו. This Rebbe that's speaking with his Talmidim, that's giving them his Da'at Sechel, the same way Rabbeinu said for us, what's happening to him as well. So the Rebbe Shebador, the Tzaddik Shebador, who's at the highest level, then when he's giving over, he's also getting. What is he getting? You know, the Rabbeinu said, there's some diburim, Rabbeinu said, if I would be in the time of Reb Shimon Bar Yochai, I'd be the Rebbe. Reb Shimon Bar Yochai. It's really one and the same. But Rabbeinu's level in his generation, the download that he got to be able to give to the world, he would be the manik. Rabbeinu said, all the tzaddikim come to the shoulders and I'm the head. Rabbeinu said those things. Again, not from Ga'ava, to tell us where the doctor is, to tell us where to get the prescription. You have to listen to the old classes to understand it. So his Makif, what is that Makif? Makifin shelo, em b'chinat arichut yamim v'shanim. We're adding a new vocabulary now. It's called arichut yamim v'shanim. Length of days, length of years. K'makifim shelo, hem b'chinat olam haba. His makif is not a makif that's a sechel of this world. It's a makif of the sechel of the next world. He's tapping into the makifim, to the understanding, to the knowledge of the next world. Shu yomo yom shekulo aroch. That's called in Chazal yom shekulo aroch. The next world is considered a world where the day is completely long, endless. There's no time. Kisham hu nemana me'azman. There, it's above time and space. Time and space is a creation. Ki kon hazman shel kon ha'olam hazeh kulo, ma shaya, ma sheyeh, hu kulo ayin va'efes, keneged yom echad, ואפילו נגד רגע אחד של עולם הבא. 6,000 years of physical world that we know is nothing in comparison to one moment in the next world. Because there is no time. של עולם הבא שהוא יום שכולו ארוך. And let me tell you a story. Real story, documented story. I have the names of the Rabbanim and the name of the people. I think they changed the person's name, but the Rav who said the story knew the person. I have them. I have it at home. There was a man in France, a chashuv man. There was no mikveh in his community. I guess it wasn't such a frum place, but there was a few frum people wanted to use a mikveh. He decided to build a mikveh himself to save the ladies from traveling an hour back and forth. And on Shabbat, there's no mikveh. So he builds a mikveh with his hands. He pays for the expenses from his pocket. He had 9 children. While he's building the mikveh, his wife becomes pregnant. A 10th children, a 10th boy, 10 boys. He always wanted a girl, but he had a boy. The mikveh in his courtyard is up and functioning. It's good to go. Safety measures, of course. Protection, precautions. The child grows. 1 year or 2 years. Walking, crawling, running. One day the child's missing. Panic. Search the whole house. Panic. Search outside. Nowhere to be found. Get to the mikveh. You can already figure out the end of the story. The door was open. How is it unlocked? It's always locked. Don't ask. Child inside. Lo alechem, lo anenu, v'lo alechem. Catastrophe, tragedy, kvura, shiva, shloshim. No consolation. The father cannot get over it. There's even a Gemara that speaks about when you do a chesed with something, Masechet Bava Kama, Nun, that it can't be that you're going to have a tragedy from what you did a chesed. It can't be. How could he have a baby that died in the mikveh that he built? Nobody can give him any peace. No rabbi. He has a dream, after the month, if I'm not mistaken, maybe it was a little before. Comes to him a Bal Tzura, a Rav, light, white beard, not a regular, Hadrat Panim, Tzaddik. He introduces himself. I'm of the Balei Tosfot. Tosfot was a group of Chachamim, Gedolei Hador, that lived in France, different places, in the time of Rashi, about 1,000 years ago. They were Rishonim explaining the Gemara. There was like many Bal Tosfot, it's not one. Tosfot is the Balei Tosfot, the Rishonim in that school. Rabbeinu Tam is about Tosfot. The Rashba is about Tosfot. Anyways, he said, I came to explain to you what happened, to give you some peace. He said, I'm the baby. I'm the soul that drowned. And why? I'll tell you why. Because 1,000 years ago, he said that he was living in France and he was killed during the Crusades. The Christians decided that they have to make a holy war to go capture Jerusalem. And it was just a lot of thugs and hooligans and stealers and mercenaries that used the opportunity for the holy war to steal and kill and massacre and ravage. And so they're coming through France and they killed like a Holocaust. We had a Holocaust in France. So Rabbi Reddy says that the Torah was written in that time. Don't think that the Torah is not written in hardships. You can learn Torah in hardships. And says he was killed there in that crusade. He was killed in that crusade. And when he gets to heaven, they found him clean from all blemish, except one thing he's missing. Go put him in his great place in Gan Eden. And I think in the story it said, we can either put you here, or you can go back and do a final tikkun. Because to get to this level that you want to get to, you need to have a tahara. A deceased person needs to go in the mikveh before burying. Since he had no proper burial and was not immersed in a mikveh, so therefore there's a problem of putting you to the highest level. So he decided to come back. He came back. The story is not long ago, in this last 10 years, 15 years maybe the story. The story is recent. So he comes back, decides to come back. Basically, to live a short amount of time. And so they said in heaven, they want to see where will I have the merit of going in the mikveh. And the holiest mikveh that they found to decide to put the Baal Tosfot in was the mikveh that you, with your Mesirat Nefesh, with your money, with your efforts, with your sweat, you built with your two hands, that's the mikveh decided to be put in. So that's why, don't think that you've actually helped me, you actually done good for me. So I want to come and thank you and tell you what happened. He said, and by the way, he told him, since you always wanted a girl, to prove you this is true, you're going to have a girl now. You always wanted one, and you had...
really? You had an 11 child?
No, so now the one, he had one passed away. Yes. So now he had the 10th child was a girl.
Oh, so it's the 10th.
To prove him that I'm telling you Demis. No, that's a nice story. It's mechazik, to understand that everything is calculated. Hashem knows what he's doing. There's gilgulim. There's things we can't understand because we're watching the middle of the show. Sure. The show started a long time ago. But what I want to point out to you is that let's think about that. When did the Baal Tosfot die? 1,000 years ago. So he went up to Shamayim, he goes to the Beit Din, he sits in the Beit Din, he's there getting a psak. Okay, we're going back down. He goes back down. When? 1,000 years later. He comes at the Beit Din, okay, going back down. He came back right away. And here, 1,000 years passed away. Understand? 1,000 years here is one day. Time there doesn't exist. Time is a fiction of the imagination. Rabbeinu speaks about the more you have sechel, the less time seems real. Take a kid and drive with him to New York. You ever did that? 5-year-old kid? Are we there yet? Every half an hour, are we there yet? It's too long. My daughter, she cries when we're going to Lakewood. When we drive to Lakewood, she cries. No, I don't want to go to Lakewood. It's too long. It's too long. I'm going to go. What are you going to do in that car? My son also, but now he's 8. It's a little easier. And an adult, he can drive back to Lakewood and there's Rabbanim, they give a shiur they go to a wedding in Lakewood. They give a shiur. They go to a wedding. After the wedding, they drive back. They give the shiur in the morning. It's like water. Why? Because when you're a kid, every birthday, sometimes we have to go into the moach of the kid. A birthday is a big thing. By you, a birthday is a big thing. The birthday is like just finish the birthday and another birthday. Why is that? Because the more you get brains and sechel and downloads and makifim, time seems like nothing. Because time really is nothing. Ensman. God, you're timing me?
When we're 50, we're going to go back to 18. So our birthday doesn't count anymore.
What I'm trying to say, Rabbi Yehuda, is that time here is an illusion. So the makif of the next world is limana min azman. And we're going to need to understand what that means. You need to know this for the next part. Sham en zman. Ki hu bichinat limana mi azman. There, the next world is above time. So what is time there? רק סדר הזמנים שיש שם. You need to know this. הם בחינת השגות של המקיפים. How is time determined in the next world? What do we call long, short in the next world? Is there time there? It's not really time. But what we determine, what we give the term time, there it's measured in hasagot of makifin, knowledge. Sheyesh makifin shem b'chinat yamim, v'yesh makifim shem b'chinat shanim. There's a makif there in the next world, which is a makif of a day. And there's a makif of a year. In other words, there's no time there. All there is new knowledge. So how do you measure advancement in the next world? Here you measure advancement. An hour passed, a day passed, a week passed, a month passed. We've advanced 1 year. There's no advancing 1 year. There's advancing in knowledge, in secher. Almost to say that if you're not getting new downloads there, you're not advancing there. And you can get new downloads there as well. But how? The pasuk says, "Tikufat hashanim, tikufat hayamim, tikufat hashanim." There are in Chazal places where it says seasons of days, seasons of years. Ben is using it to say that there, the tikufah is the day, tikufah is a year. The bigger the knowledge you get, the more information you get, the more proximity you get to Hashem, the more understanding of Hashem you get in the next world, that is considered going forward in time, even though it's not time. Just how do we know the difference between advancing? Well, you advance a small knowledge, not a big knowledge. You learned a letter or you learned a parsha. You learned ABCs or you learned Alphabet Gimel or you learned Sefer Bereshit. One takes longer and one takes shorter. So you can sort of use this to give a feel of what the next world looks like in terms of advancing. והם בחינת, ואלו המקיפים שיש שם, הם בחינת סדר הזמנים שם. So time there, the same way we understand time, there it is in concept of hasagot, knowledge. והסגות המקיפים הללו, please listen to this. זה עיקר התענוג והשעשוע של עולם הבא. You want to know what is the delight and the pleasure of the next world? That the tanug, the delight, the shashua, the pleasure, the pleasure, the delight. In English, it doesn't do justice. That is the next world. What do you think the next world is? Like they say in the Arabs, that's the next world. Khalila v'chas. It's going to be, you're going to get money. What are you going to get there? You're going to have the reward there. What's the reward of the next world? It's hasagot. The pleasure, the Gan Eden, is, the Tanug is new knowledge.
It's also your proximity with Hashem.
That's your proximity. Because your knowledge, your proximity is based on your knowledge. Your understanding, your grasping. There was a Talmid of Rabbi Natan, he felt so bad that he didn't see Rabbeinu. He felt so bad that he never saw Rabbeinu. And so Rabbi Nassim told him, what do you mean you never saw Rabbeinu? I never saw him. He said, well, the Rabbeinu used to travel from one side of the river to the other side. And there's like a taxi service of a goy, a boat. It brings you from one side. You know, in the city, you're traveling in the city, there's a little river. You guy has a boat, you wait over here 20 minutes, one side. And the guy would bring Rabbeinu every day in the boat. He said, you think the goy saw Rabbeinu? He didn't see Rabbeinu. You saw Rabbeinu through the Torah of Rabbeinu. If you have the Torah of Rabbeinu, you saw Rabbeinu. So what does that mean? You know Rabbeinu because you're close to Rabbeinu because of the knowledge you have of Rabbeinu. So the Torah, if you learn Torah Aleph, Torah Bet, Torah Gimel, Torah Dal, if you know all the Torah, that's called close to Rabbeinu. If you know only Torah Aleph, and Torah Resh Bet, and Torah Yud, and Torah, that's what you know. The more you know, the more you're close. You know how it fits in. In the next world, the proximity is knowledge of Hashem. To be close to Hashem is to know Hashem. And that's the tanug and the pleasure there. Comes out, we have to go back now to the Torah. Because comes out that if you want to, here you make money, you make more money. I make more money, I got a new deal, a new sale. There, how do you get better? How do you go up? How do you have a new delight, a new pleasure? It's through new hasagot. new knowledge. But how do you get new hasagot there? How do you get them? Didn't we say that hasagot is when you give over what you know, so you get a new one? So how do you get a new one there? You're not giving over what you know. We have to think about that. Chazak Bo, Shabbat Shalom.